Our adventure begins with a day one patch that took me 2 hours to download, which really made me feel like Spider-Man. Here to catch us right up is none other than the spidered man, Spider-Man. What we are supposed to glean from the previous adventures is that there are two Spider-Men now, Hip Happen and What's Good Spider-Minority and Dork. Spider-Minority's father was killed in a tragic origin story and now he's getting ready for college. Dork's entire family seemed to have been fridged and his former team leader slash father figure slash employer went full supervillain. Now he's teaching at Spider-Minority's high school. It is at this point I realized something was very wrong.
Don't
even worry about it, 1989. The Spidered Man is very hip with the kids right now and always. It is really weird watching you talk without that voice filter, by the way. I didn't know you were Chinese.
Just for a second it looks like it might become a horror because the lesser of two Osborns is about to hashtag not my venom. But that's enough being coy because suddenly... Bruh! I'm Spider-Man! You're also Spider-Man! You want to check out this bathroom with me? My god. My father was killed by a bathroom. So naturally, they're tutorializing across New York to famous Ray's original Sandman. He says things like... and that is the depth to which characters will be expressing their motivation moving forward. Unless, of course, Spider-Man has the opportunity to pontificate about social morality.
I think I'm gonna start a petition. Replace all the gun clubs with something better. Like a compliment club. Compliments don't hurt anyone, and they're free.
He's absolutely right. What instead you should be doing is putting on a mask, becoming a vigilante, causing grievous bodily harm and permanent brain damage with your fists like a good person. Tutorial defeated, Sandman would like to provide caveat that the rest of the game is about to happen.
You're the ones who are gonna need help when they come for you.
Oh no, not they. Allies of them, progenitors of it, bringers of stuff, harbingers of things! Meanwhile, earlier, there's a man in the jungle in pursuit of hepatitis C. There he goes, he's got it. But he's not finished because Apparel killed his father and he shan't rest until every jacket in the jungle is dead.
A fate you will not share.
Big mistake. That was a Valentino retailing for around $4,000. Antagonist A, I'm calling him that for no reason, is unsatisfied with this man's reassurances that the stitch count was that of the inferior Hugo Boss and does not validate his parking with terminal consequences. Where am I going to get a coat of greater or equal value? He muses aloud in an accent we are told to assume is Russian. Ah, fear not, mein Führer. Famous Ray's original tailors, 'tis but a stone's throw away in merry old New York town.
Light the fires.
You're fired.
Mary Jane Watson. She's one of those horrible people who ride a motorcycle in the city. She's in this game because Peter Parker often has a girlfriend named Mary Jane Watson. She's working as a reporter for InfoWars because her book about cultural appropriation or whatever sold 14 copies.
To be honest, I'd like to take some time off, but I can't really afford to.
What about selling the house?
I can't. I mean, I could, but I can't.
If you need time, I can cover the mortgage.
No, I can't let you do that. Plus, you said Jonah might clean house.
I won't let him fire me. I know how much this house means to you.
Yes, you could never part with it. It's so important. You want me to call an appraiser? Then who should appear but the hairiest of Osborns? And he's got a brand new limp, cure for his brand new limp, and a penchant for extreme 90s BMX. But he is also filled with the sickness of nostalgia and takes Spider Parker Peter Man back to their old high school.
Why'd you bring us here? We both hated high school.
For this thematic flashback complete with foreshadow, idiot.
Forgot to tell you I showed our presentation to my mom. She thought it was really great. She had one critique, though. The name. She said we should rename it Heal the World.
Holy cow, that's perfect.
Is it? Are you sure it's not a banal saccharum puerile dirge? Turns out Harry's mother was fridged before even making an appearance. That is efficient storytelling. This narrative gets 9 revelations to the gallon. And Harry unfortunately inherited her autoimmune heart cancer damage brain damage syndrome disease. So, naturally, he's here today to offer the Parkered Spider an executive position at his new company. Which has gotta be some sort of loss leader PR hedge fund situation set up by his dad.
Pete.
We're gonna heal the world.
And you can't heal an omelet without forming a totalitarian government over the eggs. Meanwhile, Craven's coming to town, and he's in need of fashion advice from the most daring of bon vivants, supervillains. He, and his endless multitude of hired cronies like any good hunter has, were trying to apprehend the Sandman, which of course explains their total lack of presence during the Sandman fight, and are now focusing on a prisoner transfer taking place tomorrow, which is right now. Also, Jaden Smith's mom has been seeing other men ever since the tragic death of his father. Hold on to that utterly meaningless revelation until the post-credits. On today's transportation menu, Scorpion. Doesn't he look fabulous in his neon green murder suit? I think so, you also think so, it's agreed. And Mr. Negative sporting the maximum security-inspired Hannibal Lecter ensemble. He's looking more Asian than ever, that's so hot right now. Peter McParker Fries is quick to reassure Miles in this moment of confrontation.
Miles.
He killed your father.
Miles, he's hot now. It's out of our hands. But then the leisurely transportation is interrupted by the fashionistas. And where exactly are you taking these fabulously dressed gentlemen? They and I would like to know. Oh, just out into the open for a bit of sun. 'Cause I mean, that's the most secure prison on the planet behind us, so where the fuck could we possibly be taking these guys? Both Spider-Men are quick to act, forgetting immediately that they're vigilantes and start giving orders to military personnel.
Make sure the prisoners are secure! Protect the ship!
Yes, they wouldn't have thought to do that unless you guys said. But everyone proves to be so incompetent, both the fashionistas and the soldiers, that Spider-Man just decides to free Scorpion himself. And he's about to do the same for Mr. Negative when at the last second the fashionistas show up and take credit. So they make off with the supervillains and the Spidered Men are left wondering where was the police response. Now, if we believed in the police, we'd have never become a violent pogrom in the first place. Now let's go heal the world. We'll start by getting a tour of the facility, which is named after our dead aunt that apparently we've been aware of for a while but weren't curious about.
Whoa. I was wondering what this place was.
And just like the mission statement suggests, it's a shallow, saccharine, pandering attempt at Googling what science is.
When I got out, I made a few changes.
Like what?
Diverted my salary into research projects.
Oh, that's great virtue signaling. I mean, because of your infinite money making that a meaningless gesture.
Installed a diverse board to keep us on the right track.
Yep, you don't want a meritocracy in here, because I mean, what if you don't have enough minorities? Then how will you accomplish science?
Japanese koi fish have well-studied pigmentation variation, which is ideal for our research into enhanced reflectivity.
Stacks of intracellular anhydrous guanine crystals.
Separated by cytoplasm, we're finding it very useful for eco-friendly roofing materials.
What the fuck are you talking about? You know you have to kill all these fish. Unless you want to do a vivisection. That's pretty cool and humane.
This research will help beekeepers support healthy swarming without invasive observational techniques.
Why is this grade school education being projected on multi-million-dollar hologram technology? In the middle of a lab?
With the population growing and the climate changing unpredictably, we need to adapt more quickly than nature normally would. Genetic recombination can customize crops to best meet these new challenges, be it extreme weather or an increase in pests.
That is not the biggest problem caused by global warming. Rising sea levels are. So unless you want to use CRISPR to genetically modify rice fields, plus all of the Malaysian people, to exist underwater, you are pretending to solve the wrong problem.
This is a plant we're working on to grow well in drought conditions. Corporations patent GMO seeds for profit and are rightly criticized. But ours are open source, developed for sustainability instead of financial gain.
Also, that's not how genetics work. You can't usually isolate a single trait vis-a-vis a single gene. But I'm obviously thinking about this way too much because, I mean, behold, 2 lavatories dichotomized via gender. I guess this isn't the progressive, inclusive, publicly traded supervillain origin factory I thought it was. But Parker Man still isn't sure if he wants to join these cardboard cutouts and their Wikipedia recitations. What if he has to Spider-Man right in the middle of a demonstration about how the square shape goes through the square hole?
If you join me, there's so much more that we can do.
Why, we could make up entire fields of pseudoscience with which to broadcast our ethical supremacy. I don't know about you, but as a cis-white male, I'm feeling pretty oppressed right now. So, Parker Man accepts on the proviso that they never actually let anyone of color into a position of influence. That's right, everybody, it's 2 white guys running the show. Stand up and applaud! Alright, now I'm going on my first break, union mandated, you know how it is. Whilst on said break, Miles sends us the suspected coordinates of the fashionistas, and like every big game hunter, they might as well be hunting deer with a a howitzer mounted to the front of an Apache. They have cloaking technology, making it very difficult to keep up with the stakes in this universe. What sci-fi bullshit don't you have? I mean, how can there possibly be any obstacles with Science Ex Machina going on over here?
God, I'm having trouble tracking these people through the city.
Don't even worry about it. Drone network, baby.
Reverse internet, Cyberdyne. You can fly now, just like a spider.
Anyway, we are pursuing an impossibly sophisticated drone outfitted to look like a bird of prey back to some villain clusters on rooftops, because New York Airspace Control have been notoriously chill about that sort of thing ever since the early part of the century.
Whoa! Is that a railgun that actually works?
You just saw a working cloak. It turns out that Craven is purchasing a lot of real estate in New York, something revealed by a quick Google search. My God, what an impressive shell company he has. And Spider McFly is having trouble putting it together.
Craven the Hunter. He's in pursuit of supervillains, appears to be testing their armor for weaknesses, is converting these old rundown buildings into arenas. Geez, you know, I've got 2 and 2. Imagine if I put it together and it equaled 4. It doesn't, though. He's starting a team.
This Craven guy's putting together quite the team.
Have a nice trip.
Is this the best you can do?
You got a whole room devoted to studying the best he can do. You know the answer to that question, you cliche fuck.
He's not teaming up with supervillains for some hunt. They're his prey.
There you go, Spider-Man. Gosh, you really are the genius who'll advance the scientific progress of the supervillain factory. Craven is gathering assorted members of the Rogues Gallery to see who is worthy of being his new jacket. And like any big game hunter, he has rigged everything in his favor right down to the home field advantage. He's even got magic steroids. One of his targets is Spider-Man's ex, so naturally, we're going to do nothing and wait for that bitch to get what's coming to her. But hold on a minute, what about this action set piece? Insomniac already did it better with slightly less painful dialogue in Ratchet & Clank. Black as Caddis steps right out of the video game forever, and why the fuck do we do any of this? Back to the real story, and I'm a DJ now! Despite being a high-profile supervillain, Mysterio is now allowed to interact with the public after his release from prison in a way that involves his supervillain power and isolation of the individual. What other criminal activities can we take a ride on at Coney Island? Water guns! How to fight the cops. Basketball! How to move the product. Love tester! Finger in the patsy. Skittles! Skittles. Tombstone is here, and he's left his revolver and Wild West antics at home in order to focus on his true passion. Go-kart maintenance. A place where he is truly valuable to the state. Yeah, you wouldn't want to recruit that guy for security or defense purposes. Then it's off to the roller coaster, after which Harry exhibits some pretty intense symptoms.
Feels familiar, yet modern.
So we've got to bash that out with a good old-fashioned subversive revelation. What? How could he possibly have done that? Venom. Remember game? Remember earlier when you were all, hey, this is Venom? Watson is given an opportunity to lament failing at something she doesn't even want, which would have been an interesting melancholia to explore if this wasn't the comic book world unfolding with inevitable tedium. I'll just write a different story, she says. Don't even worry about me having a possible dynamic moment for a second.
Hey, you'll come up with something. You always do.
Past performance is a key indicator of future performance. Don't even think about it. It will just fix itself. I have nothing of value to contribute. Well, that's enough superficial exploration of the human condition. The fashionistas have come for Tombstone's onesie. So Spider-Man's flipping and quipping, enjoying some of the roller coaster again, beating up some people, when all of a sudden he's got his hands full of dangling civilians. He can't pull them up while stopping a beam from crushing him at the same time, so he resolves to let them die. When all of a second sudden, Harry Osborn saves the day without a mask on.
Dr. Connors said it's some kind of self-learning exosuit.
Listen, buddy. All suits are exosuits. Except this one, because it is clearly coming from inside you and not a fucking suit! Well, anyway, I guess the fashionistas just get Tombstone because we abandon all pursuit and head over to the supervillain factory, see if we can't streamline that Venom origin. We get a little bit closer when Harry starts looking like a cross between Black Panther and the White Power Ranger, as we perform a citizen's rescue with only several $100,000 in property damage. What an expensive handshake.
What are you... Hold on.
Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. This one's gonna result in quite the lawsuit. It transpires that Dr. the Lizard is missing, so now it's time to do some hardcore journalism with super sleuth reporter Mary Jane I Have a Gun Watson.
Mary Jane Watson, Daily Bugle, where are the bombs? What about these rumors I've been hearing that they're full of drugs? Care to shed any light on the allegations that you are in fact lame? I did pictures of Spider-Man!
We journalism all the way over to Lizard MD with the intention of writing a full-length feature, but oh no! Looks like Daddy needs a new pair of crocodile shoes. Don't worry, team, there's a cure in the atrium somehow. All we have to do is journalism our way over there.
Peter Parker, Daily Bugle, what can you tell me about the allegations of your romantic liaison with henchman number 1? Do you think Wolverine is going to be retconned into any of these Spider-Man titles? Is it, in fact, morbing time?
But oh no again! Spider-Man's been stabbed, despite having Deus Ex reflexes. And now maybe Daddy needs a different pair of shoes.
No sale, Craven. This new goo ensemble, with its infinite thread count, sleek 90s design, and internal surgery complete with resurrection option, has been earmarked for the Spider Corps. And doesn't he look fabulous in his new merchandising opportunity?
Craven agrees. 10 out of 10. I'ma wear the goo suit. You better believe I have a fucking Gucci joke coming up. Meanwhile, Harry cannot find the receipt, so the suit does not recognize original purchase. Too bad, Osborn. I guess you'll have to inherit your mother's dying from the disease as well. But wait! Dr. the Lizard has a PhD in wearing clothes. He'll know exactly what to do. We'll just need to snag a cure from Craven, who kept it for some reason. Time to crash his party. Suit, activate tuxedo mode.
Fuck yeah, I'm Jackie Chan now.
Coming through. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Move! Coming through! This mess. If everything isn't perfect, we're all dead. Coming through. No, wait!
Well, that was a huge waste of time. On to the church for a throwdown, drag-out brawl. And oh look, Craven's here. Might as well fetch the MacGuffin and reveal the suit's weakness. It's on the spectrum. Now that we have the complete and ready-to-use anti-lizard serum cure, we're gonna put it in the particle accelerator for cosmetic purposes. What could possibly go wrong?
Watch out!
Wow, what a great tour. Yes, I will accept the job. You have insurance, right? Oh, never mind. I gotta go do a home invasion. Over at Shea Lizard, we discover he ain't there. Not even in his super secret, easily brute-forced sublab. But he did leave us a cool home movie, complete with dramatic framing. Looks like he's Big Lizard now, and we're gonna have to go kill him in Zanzibar. Ah, Africa. Exactly as I remember it. So we're chasing Big Lizard through the mean streets of a water body when all of a sudden he's chasing us now. How embarrassing. But we've done it!
1, 2, 3, Allie!
We've destroyed one of the countless multitudes of gunships in the city, all to reveal that Spider Parker is a dick now.
Let's go, man, before he gets too far.
No.
He's mine. You sure? He's got big teeth.
So do I.
He's not normally like that, right?
I mean, the jokes are always painful, but usually you can parse them. I don't think he does have big teeth. Into the sewers. Like, right into them. Spider-Man just jumps into feculent water. And then it's Mortal Kombat, and then it's Godzilla 98, why would you reference that one? And then it's Classic Rampage, and then it's Wave Rider, and then it's Mortal Kombat again.
Finish him. Friendship.
Now that we've got Dr. Human back, it's time that he explain, through flashback, the origin of the exit. How many times in your life have you heard the word symbiote? Of all those times, how many were in reference to Venom? Don't worry about it, Doc. I could tell you how this happened.
Whoa, back off! I'm going in for a closer look. It's okay.
Oh, I see you went to the same university as the idiots from Prometheus. No, you don't need any PPE. Touch it. Touch the literal alien organism.
Shoot it off!
This is actually just a funny coincidence. He really lost his arm in a vending machine accident. So Dr. Human is all, if there's even a 1% chance, we have to burn that coat! To which Spider-Man retorts, I didn't care for Justice League, I'm going to bed! Then a several homes and whole street invasion happen under the cover of night, so stealth. But this legion of criminals and hunters, so deadly they had to be broken out of prison, is no match for a hack reporter with a cattle prod. And further oh-no's, Parker's gone and got himself a nasty case of the bonkers. Time to call in a professional. Or possibly just the other playable character.
Peter, you're acting whack, man!
Miles explains with his feet.
Oh yeah? Well then you tell me, Miles, how did the lizard close the door to his lab back up after he went feral trying to get in there?
And then MJ says, well, can't reason with him, he's clearly too far gone. She smashes her newly acquired spanner to make sure it's the right tool for the job, and blackface Spider-Man passes out from the shock of witnessing such disregard for proper tool maintenance. Oh my god! It was Peter Parker all along!
Hang on!
Oh my god! You were some rando dude all along! So Miles is captured, MJ makes a break for it, and Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire again. And when he confronts his nearest and dearest, people he is literally killing or trying to kill, he explains that it is not a phase, Mom, and I wanted to go to my room anyway. But that's not quite sufficient motivation for a full Macbeth betrayal, so here's Norman Osborn saying, you're my real son, Peter, within earshot of Osborn the Lesser.
You're like a son to me.
Perhaps somebody else's parental figure can express appropriate irritation.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. Not school, not his friends. How to help you. Go help him.
Oh, okay. I was gonna make some snide comment about your stupid fucking haircut, but I guess I, a moody teenage burgeoning supervillain, have been sufficiently cowed by the words of a bureaucrat.
Hello, Miles. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
How did I get here?
Beneath you is an electrified floor. Think of it as a cage made of lasers. It would be endlessly more efficient if it wasn't made of lasers.
One down. Just need the block to rest. There. That clears a small path.
Well, I guess they were expecting us to escape that trap. And all the others, complete with hench people. Because there is a chorus providing much more accommodating entry into another arena. And who should we encounter here but Keanu Reeves, killer of our father. He claims, despite John Wick 4, to be endungeoned here as well. Craven, also present, having previously decided that our jackets lack the killer edge necessary to make it out there in the wild, has now decided he's going to force that edge by making us tic-tac-toe to the death. In which case, here is what it sounds like when we are not allowed to do accents. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya, definitely. You killed my father, I'm given to understand. Prepare to die, please. They punch on for a bit before having a mind fight wherein they gain each other's mutual respect. I loved you in the replacements. So Miles, capable of escaping this glass-roofed facility at any time by scaling it, decides instead to send a barely, and probably not, reformed supervillain out into the real world to find Spider-Man.
He saved me. Told me to find you.
I stopped off at a men's outlet store first. Anyway, here's the address.
I'ma go fuck up his shit! He definitely wouldn't have been studying me and my weaknesses. That's not a thing he does.
Fucking uh-oh! Another whoopsie! Fuck!
So Craven is about to get his delicious new jacket when Minority Spider-Man intervenes.
Don't worry, Craven. I'll save you.
So they punch on.
I'm the hero. I don't get sick.
They punch on again.
You don't even answer my calls anymore, man.
They punch on a third time. You know, I'm a little surprised he hasn't destroyed that bell. Anyway, he finally takes off the Gucci and tosses it aside like yesterday's Versace, and where the fuck has Craven been this whole fight?
We need to get this back for a store credit. No, Miles. Dr. Human is gonna help me destroy it. Don't worry, Harry's dad is working on a new kind of jacket to help him deal with his indefinable health problems.
But whoopsie, we run into Harry first and are forced to explain that this thing is dangerous and you're not as good as me at wearing coats. A third whoopsie occurs, however, because this standard laboratory containment capsule is actually a cheap piece of shit, and wham! Get out of here, Spider-Man! A new challenger emerges. Wham! Get out of here a second time, Spider-Man. He's definitely dead now.
Non-lethal! Just get it off of him!
Yeah, does anybody want to get animal control on the phone? So then Venom, not comic book accurate, beats up the building, which immediately catches the eye of the fashionistas who provide exodus from said building to Times Square or something. And there are yet again no emergency services despite the public event. I was under the impression that New York had a surplus of police at varying stages of corruption. Instead, it's just a Russian billionaire jungle man and his pursuit of the perfect livery. And he's found it. So, after a couple of tries, Kraven finally gets inside the perfect jacket and does not survive. Harry, not quite as big into murder as he previously thought, isn't sure the jacket fits anymore, but Venom is quick to reassure him.
We're going to heal everyone.
We're going to open up our own chain of clothing outlets.
More. And they look extra fly and bodacious, exactly as I always feared. It's finally happening!
So we've got to stop Venom before he provides bespoke tailoring for the whole city. But how are we going to find him? Perhaps a random phone call to an uninvolved third party. Yep, there he is, back at our place. I wonder if he's got time for a classic cliche.
We are not, Harry. We are.
All out of bubble gum. Then it turns into like 3 different hentais. But like any good New Yorkan, we just pimp slap that out of the bitch.
I think I've been lost for a while now. Not just to the symbiote. For months I've been trying to be something I'm not.
Have you? Well, back of the bus, woman. We got Spider-Man things to deal with.
Sorry.
It wasn't you.
Yeah, it literally wasn't. Your responsibility and motivation haven't been altered in any way. Anyway, thanks to the hive mind, why not, Girl is able to determine that Venom needs a MacGuffin in order to expand his clothing franchise. The styles and bargains prove too much for the off-the-rack Spider-Men, who are eventually overwhelmed by satisfied customers. But don't worry, you can always count on Keanu Reeves. Not only is he going to pull your ass out of the fire, he's also going to fix your personal problems with a quick mind dive.
I can transfer all of my power into the symbiote. I think I can neutralize it.
This'll work, definitely. What are you basing that on? All right, let's go.
This is all my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, just gotta touch his shoulder and BAM! Custom duds. Everyone cool with accepting this on face value? Cool, then moving on. Reeves pieces out and the Spider-Men are posing for the cover.
They're tracking us.
The hunters were after him. Marco warned us about Kraven and his gang. We should have listened to him.
Did he? Anyway, Venom acquires the MacGuffin.
Harry's gone. Host and symbiote are perfectly fused.
How do you know any of that? There's just so much of people stating speculation as fact in this game. Not even couching it in I believe, just, yep, that's all, he's completely beyond saving. You're gonna have to stab him, in the dick. Give him the good old dick stab, Spider-Man, which you're famous for doing. The good old Spider-Man dick stab. Yep, now we all know that you do that. Meanwhile, come on down to Venom Town, baby. Tall or husky, in need of a suit that always fits, incapable of reading the fine print about autonomy. Venom's got a suit for you. Come on down to one of our conveniently located terraform cities and let's get you assimilated to the hive mind today. In order to fight fashion, we must become fashion. Rival franchise, baby. Near the start of the game, I saw a man stab a jacket and I thought, that's funny. I didn't realize the metaphor was gonna have legs. Venom suggests a merger.
Heal the world. Together.
But Spider-Raiden ain't about that, so they run away again. The gang then discuss their plan of industry sabotage. Venom needs the MacGuffin for his manufacturing branch. Without it, no sweatshops, no jackets.
No more hive mind.
You're not even one of the ostensible science characters, and now you're doing it too.
Definitely, this thing I've decided is just too convenient not to be true. Hell yeah, hoorah to ashes.
So White Spider-Man lures away the big Black Spider-Man, Little Black Spider-Man distracts all of Venom's valued clientele, and Mary Jane I Have a Gun Watson goes full Tomb Raider.
Fuck the natives, I've got the treasure.
Venom figures it out, just cause, why not, and then grows fucking wings, just cause, why not. Miles and MJ are about to destroy the source of his power when Venom crashes the party and takes back the solid-state drive containing 15 exabytes of tentacle porn. Then Spider-Man just fucking wails on him in the sky, just a savage bullying. Minority Spider-Man thinks that looks wicked sick fun and joins in the absolute beating. They get the SSD back from Venom plus his lunch money and start teleporting it back to Japan where it can do no harm. Spider-Man thinks now is a good time to try his faith-healing racket, but Venom is more of a Buddhist. Namaste. But Peter Parker, like a good Christian, isn't hearing any of that and insists on the power of Jesus Christ, which, for some reason, activates the teleporter. Venom's clothing line is defeated without its source of power. Free labor. But unfortunately, all of the come back to New York. Harry does not survive the forceful removal of his jacket, but then Spider-Minority remembers he saw this on the TV once.
Pulse is weak. We gotta move.
What have you done?
What have you done to him?
Well, that's a character who really needs to blame Spider-Man for something he is clearly not responsible for. I have forgotten the events of the previous 2 weeks. I hate you, Spider-Man. It's canon.
Get the G serum ready. ASAP.
Oh no, Mr. Osborn, not the G serum. Its sequel bait isn't ready yet. Now it's important we wrap up Mary Jane Watson's story, even though you might not have known she was a character in this game. She's doing a podcast now, which is somehow the most banal and trivial writing in the whole game.
Over the last half hour, I've talked about how these events have changed me. But what about you?
Like, comment, and subscribe, New York. Peter Parker moves his business into his garage in an attempt to get the bank to foreclose on his house. Miles Morales hasn't changed a fucking thing. Otto Octavius is being kept fat in prison, your taxpayer dollars at work. And a quick Google search reveals that this Asian American child has some nice tits. Gross! I hated this. I hated every second of this. This is written for and seemingly by children. I don't like Spider-Man in general. His concentrated sadness only ever seems to be expressed in either horribly bad jokes, intentional or otherwise, or fucking exposition. But nobody would shut the fuck up about how fucking great this game was. I disagree. It was torture. Also, I'm pretty sure I already played this 14 years ago.